wow, the bomb burst begins then as those red lights are extinguished. Racing here for the 4 Hours of Imola is underway, and it is a good getaway initially then from Matthias Kaiser. Jonas Reed slotting into second position ahead of Pedro Perino in the early stages. So the number 9 car has galloped away, and also, as we might have expected, Pipo Derani in the number 47 CLX car is already working his way through the order in car number 47.
Yeah, Francesco Simonazzi just shuffled behind, and there goes the M Racing car, spins right across the field, almost takes out the 88. Tim Kresik, I think, aboard that car, does a great job to avoid contact, but both the pink Ligiers stumbling across the gravel trap and will rejoin.
Yeah, but that could have been a lot nastier than it turned out. That's cold tyres, I would imagine, and just not enough track space for the opening lap. I told you it was tight around here. And another spin, this time for the number 15 RLR M Sport car, started by Michael Jensen. Well, he was towards the rear of the field anyway, and they were trying to make a bit of ground in the early stages. Stefan Trebordini has rejoined for M Racing. Although, having said that, we haven't actually got a time yet for the first stint for the M Racing car. So I'll hold my horses in that regard. No, he is running again, shown now in 37th place, as thundering their way downhill into Rivazza for the first time. It's Matthias Kaiser leading Jonas Reed, 0.6 of a second through the last split. Kuba Śmiechowski in the 43 car, that car qualified in 4th, already up to 3rd. So Pedro Perino's just struggling a little bit in the green-nosed into Europol competition car, having dropped a couple of places on that opening tour.
Great start though for the 43 car of Kuba Śmiechowski. Great, all over the back of Felipe Albuquerque. We said we thought we might see some progress there. This is the number 88 car, trouble 2 for the number 4.
Through the race have been chosen by these different drivers. Agostini late on the brake. Oh, there's contact though with Celia Martin. And was that blue and white Ferrari fully alongside as Celia Martin has turned into the chicane? I'm not entirely convinced she was. There's no doubt Riccardo Agostini.
He passed the slower cars in front. Latest is Martin Berry, and away they go. LMP2 cars pull over the driver's left and try to blast by.
And this is where the very experienced LMP2 drivers, like the Platinums and the Golds, might be able to find a bit of time on silvers that have started some of the cars. Felipe Albuquerque, I'm spotting, making some manoeuvres potentially on Pedro Perino in the background. A flash of the lights there from Kuba Śmiechowski to just remind Jonas Reed precisely where he is and make
a good run.
Great move.
That was stunningly well done. Got a great, a little bit of a toe, I think, from the GT car. Old trouble. And this is the 23 car, the McLaren from United Autosports, in the hands of Michael Birch, and that car is going no further. We are going to need an intervention. That car is beached.
Now, safety car or full course yellow?
Full course yellow's board, is that about to, is indeed going to be full course yellow. Now, there's a lot of cars being off that at that. Have we got something
too hard, as now Ollie Gray's going to try a slightly unconventional pass on Jonas Reed around the outside at Variante Alta. And you don't often see that. Now, he had a quick look in the mirrors to make sure he knew where Jonas Reed was, and well, compromised his ability to fight back, coming out of Variante Alta and down into Rivazza.
Yellow flags out at turns 2 and 3. That's wide. It's a big shot. There's 4 cars involved. It is Lead Export 28 with heavy damage. GR Racing's 86, the 57 Kessel car, and there's another GT car. It's at Martin Berry's Mercedes.
Yeah, Martin Berry's Mercedes, fairly iconic with its grey and yellow colours, and there's been a huge pile-up at Tamburello corner, turns 2 and 3.
We are under safety car deployed. Car 43, please slow. Car 43, please slow down. We are under safety car.
So 2 cars tangling initially, and then it's the aftermath, I presume, as the Kessel Racing Ferrari piles into the back of the Mercedes, tearing off basically the whole rear axle of that Mercedes. Also through the gravel, the 22 United Autosports car. 4 cars utterly stopped, but it was after initial contact between Martin Berry and Mike Wainwright's Ferrari.
Yep, lucky to get through there, the Duquesne team car, and then it was the 28s piling in with pretty much nowhere to go. The track was blocked.
And actually, it was like a claw-like manoeuvre on the Kessel Racing Ferrari that got walloped from both sides by the LMP2 and the GT cars. Some drivers are out, not necessarily all of them.
That was Mike Wainwright walking towards the barriers, and Paul Lafargue stalking away these heavy front-end damage to his Oreca. A little winded, I think, Mike. That was at least a double impact, wasn't it? And we wait and see. We've got Takeshi Kimura and Martin Berry, who took a heavy hit from the rear there.
And actually a lucky escape for Manuel Maldonado, because he has got through the next few sectors. So the 22 United Autosports car, despite running through the gravel, managed, I think, to avoid any contact as well.
And the damage to the front right corner of the 86 as well. It's going to take a little while to get sorted out. Let's have another look at this, Johnny.
Yeah, so Martin Berry, thinking he's got a good opportunity to overtake. Wainwright, did he know the Mercedes was there? Tricky to tell. He turned in. And then, as the Wainwright Ferrari spins back across the track, it prevents the Mercedes from continuing forward. So Mercedes almost gets away with it, but then gets hit, and then absolutely stuffed by the Ferrari of Takeshi Kimura in the 57 car. There's Manuel Maldonado creeping through, but Paul Lafargue is unable to continue momentum because he's got at least one wheel not quite missing, but massively broken suspension.
See, 3 of the 4 drivers stalk away from the cars. It's a red flag. I'm not surprised.
Everyone to stop before the start line.
Race clock continues to tick by, so this will still count towards the 4 hours.
Everyone stop before the finish.
But because it's going to take so long to retrieve those cars, and I think also that the chance of debris absolutely everywhere as well. The last thing we want is cars continuing to circulate. So racing again, thanks for your patience. That was a big incident at the Tamburello chicane with 4 cars having to be craned away, all heavily damaged, but thankfully the drivers were okay, and already the untangling of the field, if you like.
Drive-through penalty for overtaking under yellow flags. And there is an investigation underway for the 83 car. We saw that car in trouble on pit lane.
Here's the lead change, Graham, down the inside, and Gray's got it late on the brakes despite the distraction, and the number 21 LMP2 Pro-Am car from United Autosports about to go a lap down.
And it's 3 Ligiers in LMP3, 15, which I think is a lap down now, or about to be a lap down. This is actually, it's the lead pair about to put a lap on the 15 car. This, of course, and there's dragging bodywork at the left rear of the 15. This is, of course, the car and the team that UGL won the championship with last year. I'm not seeing a car stopped. It might well be debris. And it was a clash from the 99 with the 77.
That's what caused the damage.
Now that looked to me like Giorgio Roda bottled up behind another couple of cars, and that seemed to catch PJ Hyatt out. And there's always another one as we watch again the battle for the lead in LMP3.
And he's not being shown ahead, Paul Lancher. So did this switch back again? Oh, he is now on our timing screen. So it was through the next split. Lancher now ahead of Louis Stern.
It's proved to be very tricky indeed. Oh,
straight through the gravel for the 43 into Europol competition car of Kuba Śmiechowski, who was second at the time, remaining
6.
So how did the 85 Porsche, all on her own, I'm afraid, into the Villeneuve chicane, still in the hands of Celia Martin, but from the race lead, do with tyre traction on the road surface, as now Cameron's going to be forced to the grass by one of the CLX cars. That's an often seen incident coming out of Acqua Minerale.
That's
Enzo
Fittipaldi, and Laurent's taking full advantage. It's now back 1, 2, 3. Let's watch this. Yeah, it goes to the outside all over the grass, and that has allowed Thomas Laurent on newer tyres. That could have gone so badly wrong.
The Tamburello chicane. Now the Algarve Pro Racing cars have found one another, but it shows you how wet it is. Maybe on cooler tyres again for the TDS car.
That's Clem Novalak. Was that under braking?
Was there contact for the 29 TDS car in the process? Than that, so Acqua Minerale
is not going to go either. That's just going to require an intervention.
At 14, 15 and 15 seconds, we will be deploying full course yellow. In 30 seconds, we will deploy full course yellow.
Is the 34 still on the lead lap is the next question. Because now 34 has its own moment. And Jean-Baptiste Simonauer, is not on the same lap as Danny Juncadella, despite being able to just pass him in the traffic. And Juncadella's all crossed up, and he's going to have to go straight on, as is Simonauer at the chicane, because neither of them, the end could turn in. So that's Juncadella getting clashed. That means
That's the
2
leader.
hours to go.
That's the
Esteban
leader.
Masson's off the road at Rivazza. He's outbraked himself at Rivazza, or more importantly, the tyres have said, no, I cannot possibly turn in with this amount of moisture on the road surface. Staying on the slick tyre suggests that in the 37 car, have we had anybody else? Well, we did have Malik in it as well. Now there's a door open on another LMP3 car.
Decker and trouble for the 8T. This is our championship leading car, Johnny, from 4th place, and Danny Uncadella is off the track and in the wall.
And that's at Variante Alta, unless I'm very much mistaken. So was there some side-to-side contact? Juncadella was running 4th at the time. He'd been having an intense battle with Lorenzo Fluxa, and I think he's just hit too much of the curb there. First curb, the sausage curb, and it is as simple as that. He's whacked that curb, the car's gone up into the air, and with the tyres no longer in contact with the ground, that is how easy it is to lose all of this time.
We're going to be going back to full course yellow.
And that's so easily done, I suppose. Oh, now Crissoni almost getting tangled up with the race leader, Esteban Masson. So the two LMGT3 leaders were side by side virtually, just at the point where Esteban Masson wanted to get by in the 48 VDS Panis racing car. I reckon the Frenchman had 2 wheels on the grass there. That Tom has done his 60 minutes. Again, Crissoni now down the inside into the Tamburello chicane to take the race lead away in LMGT3 from Rui Andrade's Corvette. Crissoni rehearsed that a lap or so ago, and it might well be a full course yellow to solve that.
So double yellows to protect the seat at the moment. Side by side here, the 2 Ferraris. Is this going to be the 51 car around the outside of the 55? Doesn't do it there. Has a good run off the corner though, side by side again. It looks to me as if the 51 has got the better straight line speed at the moment, and that position is gone. Or is it? No. Still, now the LMP3 car covers the point the 51 was looking to move into. Oh, further trouble, and it's going to be further big dramas. Is the tyres gone right rear of the number 68 car. There's going to be gravel everywhere. That's
too fast from Canton Antonella as well. He's making the whole situation a whole lot worse. And it's really early on in the lap as well. That was at turns 1, 2 and 3. So I'm sure now Antonell, seeing the amount of smoke that is in the mirrors, but how much damage is going to be done to the rear right corner.
That car's running in 3rd place as well. I mean, the dramas that this car has had through this race, to say that car is still running in 3rd is what happens. They've gone down already, hasn't it? Or had it?
Tricky to tell. We have had 2 long stops from that particular car.
That's not a sound that's on any racing driver's list of greatest hits, is it?
So the safety car is coming in. This will leave Charles Milesi out front, and he will have cars in behind him before we then see Tom Dillman in the 43 car with the yellow nose. So a couple of seconds between them. And I would imagine if there weren't back markers between car 48 and car 43, then he would have been right with him, Tom Dillman. We'll get a glimpse of that in just a second, but away we go again. Leading then the LMP2 Pro-Am part of the field is Louis Delatraz over Ben Viscal's Proton competition car. Might have been a touch there between Picariello's Porsche and the Ferrari of David Perel. I think again, definitely there, because they were getting squeezed and totally in innocence by the LMP2 car that wanted to get through at the same time. Well, it's certainly the 20 car.
Just this, and that is going to require an intervention. There's no way he's getting out of that one. Let's see what happened here. And I think he was hit by Lawrence Hurr.
In the DKR car. It's possible, just at the turning point, if Hurr was going for a manoeuvre.
Théo Pourchaire on pit lane.
Right, best of luck, thank you.
Thank you.
Trouble for
Janetta. Or is that an LMP2
no,
car? No,
it's Lawrence Hurr.
3, beg your pardon.
He's had a torrid last 10 minutes, hasn't he?
Difficult to work out from the rear as to whether that was a LMP3 or an LMP2, but now there are more cars off the road. That looks a bit like the TDS car, number 29, that's at Piritella. So that's a very, very big gravel trap and a huge lose, I'm going to suggest, for Matthias Besch, who was running 4th. Now, has he had contact? Yes, he has. He's had contact with the 20 car of Alex Quinn, and that was for 3rd and 4th positions, and way off the track. Might have even rolled the car at one phase, but also in the gravel. You can rule out car number 9. It's going to have to come in for a drive-through penalty. That's because of an infringement under the virtual safety car, so that's been bubbling for a while. And Massimo Capietto was on course for a podium. Well, one of them has dropped away.
No major changes in the other classes, by the way. Oh, there's a spin there for the Vector Sport car.
Was that a touch from Dillman?
I think there was. It's got damage on that corner.
Looks like there's a dive plane that's now been uprooted, and Dillman was in anyway to get the fuel that he needed, but that might have to be looked at as well. So is that now going to put the 43 car in dangerous waters?
He did. And that, I'm sorry, no way. Right now, we'll call it as we see it, Charles Malaysia. It's Théo Pourchaire, by the way, that takes the Goodyear Wingfoot Award in LMP2 after a stellar performance in qualifying. And, well, we're not sure yet where he might finish this race. Giorgio Roda, another great qualifier, and had a great run at the start of the race too, the bronze driver from Proton Competition, the number 77 car. Bet I know who's going to... It is indeed the literally Iron Dame, badass Michelle Gatting, racing here to a competitive finish, running 7th at the moment. Michelle Gatting getting the fan award with a broken foot. I'd be at home crying on the sofa, asking for tea and sympathy.
Yeah, well, wouldn't we all, frankly? But if you're a motor racing driver and you want to continue your career as intended at the start of the year, then she will step up to the plate, if you forgive that pun, and has pushed on to get that car to the finish of the race. 7th position at the moment for Michelle Gatting. Could have been a lot better were it not for Celia Martin's mistake in the rain.
Watching in LMGT3 into the final minute, by the way, and about to start. Is it final lap yet? It's not quite, is it? But watching Alessio Peccariello with the hammer down and trying to draw as close as he can. At the moment, the maths are the wrong side of things for the Proton car to inherit a podium as the Kessel Racing 74 loses 5 seconds, but it will be tense in it. We're going to go around, I think, one more time. It's going to be tight.
Yeah, but I think I agree with you. They're well into the final. The leading car is well into the final sector. So 20 seconds left on the clock. Rivazza to the finish line is a shorter run than it is to the start line. The checkered flag will be being readied. But remember, the checkered flag line is just beyond. In fact, yeah, already crossed it. So we start the last lap for Charles Malaysia, leading by 10 seconds now on lap 126.
He will enjoy seeing his windscreen full of traffic, I can tell you that. 10 seconds to the good from Tom Dillman with a cloud hanging over the second place car. Théo Pourchaire is 25 seconds further back, and Algarve Pro Racing will be hoping that the decisions that may still be to come for the 48 and the 43 go their way, but we'll call it as we see it on track. Capietto, Matteo Capietto, great run for the number 9 car, but didn't quite work for them today. But 4th place is a big improvement. Louis Delatraz leads the way, 5 seconds to the good in the AO by TF number 99 car in LMP2 Pro-Am from the 77 Proton, the 20 Algarve Pro Racing car. LMGT3, TF Sport seem to have this one for what would be the first ever win for a Corvette in the European Le Mans Series, and what would be, by the way, 2 class wins for TF Sport with the 99 AO by TF car in LMP2 Pro-Am. LMP3, CLX Motorsport look like they may continue their 100% winning streak here. They've won them all, they've been on pole for them all. Cracking stuff. Johnny, call them home.
It was absolute heartbreak for this team at Le Mans. They were leading inside the final hour, and then a suspension problem struck, but it's a one way to come fighting back, is it not? In the 4 hours of Imola, at least on the road as we speak, the 48 crew of VDS Panis Racing will take the victory. Charles Malaysia getting the car to the line. Esteban Masson, he had at least one off-track excursion, you'll remember, at Rivazza in the wet stuff. But Ollie Gray, perhaps the big superstar in that, as the silver entered driver. 43 into Europol competition, home in 2nd position, with Tom Dillman doing the final stint, along with Nick Yellerly and Kuba Śmiechowski. In LMP2 Pro-Am, it's another win for Spike the Dragon and the number 99 crew of PJ Hyatt. Dane Cameron and Louis Delatraz, who pilots that car, and the celebrations can begin at TF Sport for the one side of the garage. More entertainment to come yet in that regard, but the podium is filled with the 77 Proton competition and the Algarve Pro Racing Crew number 20. And here's the other TF Sport car on course for victory then. After Charlie Eastwood looked so strong on Friday in free practice 1, he said the car is good in the hot stuff, and it's been incredibly warm here this weekend at Imola. But the TF Sport Corvette, a first ever win, we think, in European Le Mans history.
Absolutely.
For this particular American brand. It's got so many fans worldwide with the Corvette corrals and whatnot, and now finally tasting the best champagne at the end of a European Le Mans Series race. And finally, the championship leaders going from strength to strength. It doesn't seem to matter who you put in this car. Adrian Clomenil, Paul Lancher, who began the race, Theodore Jensen, who qualified yesterday, and will bring the 17 CLX Motorsport car to the finish, and another victory. That's 3 races and 3 maximum point scores for CLX Motorsport in LMP3.
Well, there you go. It really was fast and furious. 126 laps in the 4 hours of running we got. 48 VDS Panis Racing take the win from the 43 Interior Pole competition car and the 25 from Algarve Pro Racing. AO by TF's number 99 takes LMP2 Pro 6th overall from Proton 77. Algarve Pro Racing's number 20. So both APR cars on the podium. LMGT3 was next up in terms of the winners, 21st overall for the winning car from TF Sport. Their 2 cars take 2 wins here today from the 51 Air Corsa Ferrari, the 74 Kessel Racing Ferrari, the first ever win in the LMS for a Corvette. And LMP3, what can you say about that? CLX Motorsport continue their 100% record this season from Racing Spirit of Le Mans, the number 31, and the number 11 Euro International car. At the moment, it is Elige 123, but I think we both feel, Johnny, there's still some afters to come with some calls still to be made. One quick correction, by the way, with thanks to Jeff Carter in the media room. We have had a previous winner with drivers from all 3 different continents, and it was the final race of the season that sealed the title for the Einlix Lamborghini.